Hey everybody, it's your man Fitman, head performance coach at the Fitman Performance Center. And today's topic on Form Matters, we are going to investigate how to turn the 45-degree hip extension into a more glute hamstring dominant movement. Now, before we get into the 4 cues that will allow you to maximize the 45-degree hip extension, I want to show you a few things that I don't want you to do, but these are things that I've seen in my career in the gym. So a lot of folks, they get set up and they're down here and they go just like this. Yep, boom, and they come down. Yep, boom, and they come down. Yep, boom, and they come down. Let me tell you something, man. Performing this movement with an arched back, with your hips coming off the pad, with no rhyme or reason, dropping back into it, it has no value. Okay? And movements that have no value are never going to allow you to unleash your inner greatness and build the physique that you want to build and gain the strength that you want to gain. We need proper movement, and that's what the Form Matters series is here for, to teach proper movement of all these great exercises. Now, let's get into the 4 cues that will allow us to turn the 45-degree hip extension into a more glute ham focused movement. Now, cue number 1, when you start the movement, you want to turn your feet out when they're on the base. So what happens here is that when a lot of folks begin their 45-degree hip extension, their feet are straight, and when they come up and they squeeze here, what happens is that you get a little bit of hamstrings, a little bit of glutes, but you get a lot of lower back and a lot of spinal erectors, okay? We need to shift this, and we shift it by pointing our feet out, putting them into external rotation. This will ensure that when you come up from the bottom of the movement, that your glutes and hammies are gonna do more of the work. Cue number 2, you want to keep your chin tucked and your upper back round as you rise up during the movement. Now, let's go back to what most lifters and most trainees do. Their feet are straight, and when they rise up into the movement, they arch their back, okay, and they squeeze. And what happens here is that in this position, your lower back, your spinal erectors are doing the brunt of the work. We don't want that if we're trying to build bigger and stronger glutes and bigger and stronger hamstrings. So what we need to do before we rise up is that we're going to tuck our chin in and keep our upper back round. And now, as we come up, all you're gonna feel is glutes and hammies. I feel nothing, absolutely nothing going on in the lower back. Why? Because it has been minimized, because we have changed the form of the movement. Cue number 3, you want to push your hips through the pad when you execute the rep. Now, what this does, so I wanna take you through this. If I'm here and everything else is right, and I come up right here, yes, my glutes and hams are activated, but there's still another level to this. So what happens, if I jam my hips through this pad as if I'm performing a hip thrust, now they are very activated, and that is what you're gonna have to do if you're looking to maximize the movement. Make sure that you're pushing your hips through this pad as if you were performing a barbell hip thrust in order to get maximal engagement from the glutes and the hamstrings. Cue number 4, what constitutes proper form in the 45-degree hip extension? Let's go through everything that we've learned today. Cue number 1, we're gonna turn our feet out, put them into external rotation. Cue number 2, as we rise up, our chin is tucked, our upper back is round, and then cue 3, we push our hips through the pad. Push our hips through the pad, and push our hips through the pad, okay? When you combine all these 3 cues, now you're going to really feel your 45-degree hip extension in your glutes and hamstrings versus your lower back. You probably won't feel your back at all because it's going to be minimized because we have changed the form of how we're doing the movement. Now, doing it the other way is not wrong. It's just that if you want to put more of the emphasis on your glutes and hamstrings, we have to follow these 3 cues and then execute the 45-degree hip extension. So for your next workout, implement these 3 cues into your 45-degree hip extension, and I promise you that now you're going to maximize your ability to build bigger and stronger glutes and hamstrings. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you learned knowledge that you can apply to your next workout, please like this video, share this video with your friends who also want to unleash their inner greatness, and subscribe to the Fit Team today. It's your man, Fitman. Holla at a trainer when you see me at the center.